I went online to become a private detective. It was a private detective school online, and I paid online. And I never heard from them again. I thought to myself, I either got ripped off, or this is my first case. This is a journalistic podcast, Shannon. We vaccinate our listeners with answers. And I'm going to keep lip-syncing the important questions until TikTok gives me a show. Shannon, how can the moon landing be real if the moon itself is fake?
It's not true, Mike.
Oh, isn't it true, Shannon? You're fake. You're a hologram.
1 in 5 New Yorkers are food insecure. What's your solution for that, Mike?
Fortune cookie. Because that's food and advice at the same time. Shannon, at least have the decency to backstab me, okay? You stab me in the front every time. Some fans can't watch the podcast because they're triggered by our sexuality. And message to those fans, we will leak a sex tape right into your mouth.
This is Mike Vecchione Investigates.
And you're not better than me. Welcome to another episode of Mike Vecchione Investigates, guys. We love you. I don't say it enough. I don't say it enough, but I'm going to come right out of the gates with it. We love you and we miss you. And we're happy that you're back with us. And we have just such an appreciation for our fans on this podcast. We love you and we're glad that you're here. And a lot of people have their panties in a twist over this air horn thing. Should we have an air horn? Should we not have an air horn? Shannon's dug in Staten Island, and she's like in like a compound in a bunker, whatever Hitler had. That's what she's in. She's like so pushing the air horn on me. It's like after the podcast, there's so much air horn talk, I have to get out of here and get some quiet to think about what I want to do. Shannon is pro air horn, third time's a charm. Shannon is pro air horn. I'm on the fence. And others of you, seemingly from other countries, seem to be against the air horn. And I guess it's just like America is too loud for you, and you guys want to be in like some kind of a countryside or whatever your land has. And it's just like, but we have the air horn polls right now, so the facts are not going to lie to us. And the air horn poll results are in. Shannon, can we have some music to, because this has been going on for weeks now, and we finally got scientific about it. This is a Quinnipiac, who does the polls? Quinnipiac?
Yep.
Quinnipiac poll, and it's like a college that just does polls. Yeah. That's what I thought. And we have the results in. Shannon, some light drumming.
This might go too long. Let me skip ahead. I don't know if it ends or hold on.
We're the only ones who can screw up the end.
It should in 2 seconds.
And the air horn poll results are in. 79% of you say yes, more air horn. 21% say no, the air horn is back. This is a democracy on this podcast. God, you know, we go by the numbers. We hope that you anti-air horn people will just join us for the content and pretend that it doesn't exist. We had a lot of suggestions, people saying we should put out 2 episodes, one with air horn, one without the air horn, and put a special warning on the air horn. Only the ones who are like ready to party, the air horn ones, and the other ones who want to quietly go to a library or something that's anti-air horn. That's neither here nor there. My guest is peering through me because he knows he doesn't want to interrupt. He wants my preamble to go through so that he can get in on it too, but I have to introduce him. He is, former roommate, I should start with.
See?
Hilarious comedian, dear friend. I just am so happy that he's here because we live together, and that does include bathing.
Yes.
Oh, did you share a bathroom? It's like, let me answer your question and let me be a little abrupt with it. Bathing together, shaving each other's not only backs, but fronts. I'll go even deeper. Oh, Mike, is it because it's Pride Month? No, it has nothing to do with Pride Month. It has to do with a friendship between 2 guys. What's the friendship where they don't have sex, Shannon?
Confidants.
Platonic.
Platonic. a platonic friendship that included bathing. And it's like people want to put a label on you and they want to judge you. But it's like, can't two guys take a bath together platonically for relaxation and cleanliness? And it's like people get judgy over, or people, even if they don't get judgy in the times we live in now, it's like they want to put a label on. It's like, what are you? What are you guys? It's like, we're roommates and we're friends and naked a lot sometimes together, okay?
Like
Things
Bert
were
and Ernie.
happening. What?
Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, it worked for them.
Bert and Ernie, it
Nothing
worked for
nefarious
them.
there.
And there was nothing, and they knew all the letters, and they would get into different things every day.
They also knew what C was for. Cookie.
Cookie?
It's for Cookie.
That's a Cookie Monster.
It's good for, but they hung out. No?
They did hang out. That was
Good
a good
enough for
hang.
me.
It's James Mattern.
On pro air horn. And what a landslide.
I knew you would be.
What a landslide.
It's a landslide.
The people have spoken.
It wasn't even
Yeah. I mean, you got to.
close. People needed it. People wanted it. And now we see if our numbers dip because we're making bold decisions.
It'll
Get
dip
it out of the way,
19%.
Shannon. No one else is coming in. It's just me and Mattern, face to face. Now, I have to call you on the carpet. This is an investigatory show. You knew what you agreed to. We have the text. And we knew what you had agreed to.
I was in Chinatown, just so you know when I got this text.
What were you doing?
My friend has a layover with his family, and I don't get to see them, and I go, let's go. And I've had a wild week, and I go, let's see some, like a family. Let's see people who love each other, an actual good family. Not something
Right.
I grew up in. People who love each other.
They're a good family?
Beautiful, blonde-haired, just innocent Mormon family.
Blue-eyed Aryans?
Well,
walking around Chinatown?
Yeah, what are you going to do, huh?
Wow.
It took a while for that to happen. But just good kids. And
Yeah.
Just walking around.
And you met with them for
They
massage?
Yes.
That's what happens in Chinatown? Or beef and broccoli?
No, I was fasting.
Okay.
I'm in a bit of a food coma. I broke the fast about 30
Talk
minutes
to our
before the air.
fans who can't get off the couch and they're eating
I
junk
went
food.
to Veselka and had a breakfast.
Pro-Ukraine.
Yes.
You're for the
I've made a
Ukraine.
decision, Michael. I won't be told not to root for them anymore.
Can I say something? I'm pro-Ukraine, but then the workers in the building are so loud and bothering us, and they're Ukrainian. Now I've almost become anti-Ukraine.
In this place?
Because the workers are loud.
Oh, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I don't know. I mean, can they be quieter?
Do you think they're loud
They're
on the
landed.
battlefield, and that's why they are perceived to be winning? But
Probably.
the Russians just want to take a nap?
Probably.
And there's
I
a bunch
mean,
of Ukrainians going, ah! And they're just like, no, enough already. Could you imagine that's how they war?
yeah, they war with the war of yelling.
Show me your war face, Private Joker.
Can't they just fight on Twitter the way that we do?
Like everyone else does?
Yes.
That's
I
how
mean,
war's
and
fun.
they call us like petty, which we are, and
little
that's
bit.
how we love it. We would fight a war on Twitter, and it's like we would not retweet whoever we were
We're not
fighting,
going to retweet
and we'll
any of
block
it.
them, and
Yeah.
we'll mute them.
I can't get on Twitter. I tried again.
Shadow banned.
No, I don't know what
Is
it
that a word
It's
our friends
Yeah, it
know?
says my account. I had a moment where I was single, and I was like, this one girl only messaged me in Twitter, and I'm like, well, just in case.
Yeah,
And I couldn't get on there. So there it is.
and you couldn't get on her.
Yeah, because I couldn't get in Twitter. I have no other way to get a hold of this girl.
Women control Twitter.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Someone
We
does.
like to make platitude, just these general statements, and we let the
I want them, yeah.
low income whites interpret it.
I want them to vote on that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Mattern, you went to Chinatown and you accepted the call to come into
Yes.
Mike Vecchione Investigates.
Yes, I was trying to sell those kids into labor
Okay.
for my buddy.
Okay, for your buddy or for
For
the
his buddy, I get 10%.
What's the difference in human trafficking? Is it for organs? Because organ trafficking is a big thing too, and you got to buy a cooler for
Slave
that.
labor. It's time to balance it out and have blonde hair, blue-eyed white kids in slave labor. It's
You want to
time.
flip the narrative.
Yeah, then because slave labor has a bad rap right now
Yeah.
because it's not white kids. So now
And,
we're going to
and is rap what you listen to on your way down?
Yeah, I was listening to Kumo D when this happened. You know, I'm real modern.
So you go down there and you're interested in slave labor and you're interested in human trafficking. No, let's isolate on this for our explain it to these low-income whites in Mississippi. Can't get off the couch except to go to the Waffle House, which I know you love. God. And you were fasting. They're overeating.
I was fasting.
Okay. And you go down and you plan to sell these whites.
Sell the whites.
These whites.
It's about time to sell the whites.
Sell the whites into
In
human
Pride
slavery.
Month. I don't know if that even ties in together, but why
It
not?
could be, but they can't be
Why not?
gay. If they're gay whites, then that's a hate
Then it's hate. Yes,
It's
so
hate.
they're straight
Okay, but
as
if
arrows.
they're straight whites
Yeah,
and they're
straight
coming
whites.
from a family,
Just
then
everyone
it's
gets
time-
along. Everyone gets along. It's like
time
a
to break that
1950s
up.
sitcom. Yeah.
It's time to break that up,
Mhm.
isn't it?
Yeah, I
Because
carved.
people should not be living in a family according to today's times. I'm preaching a narrative now,
Please.
and you tell me I'm wrong. They shouldn't be happy in a family right now.
No, there should be no nuclear families. Should be a nuclear winter family,
Mm-hmm.
but no nuclear families. No.
Is that where it's going? Do you think we're all going to be back in caves
Yeah.
underground because of the nuclear holocaust that's about to happen?
Is it about to happen? Is it
I
because
think
of the
so.
loud Ukrainians? If
I
the
think that's
Ukraine-
the start of it, and then China and us are going back and forth. And I've been through this before with other guests. It's like a Real Housewives thing that could just really go blow up, and we could all be living underground and eating ramen noodles, canned food.
Yeah. Why'd you point at me for canned food? Am I a low-income white now?
You are. That's why I had you on. I lived with you. No, I think you're upscale now. You live on the Upper East. Can
I
I
live
say
in
your
a-
neighborhood? Can I say your exact address?
Yeah, give it everything.
Upper East Side, and you're living creme de la creme now. And I live downtown,
Yeah.
and it's like we both moved about the same time. And then you said you
Big lifestyle changes.
Yeah, but you were like, I'm in the Upper East Side now, and it's like approaching you and talking to you is different because you're kind of like you're not as good as I am. I'm in the Upper East Side.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Michael.
hey, James, we're friends, and you're like, yeah, I can't be talking to you in public.
Michael, a lot has changed. My income is through the roof now because I'm selling whites. I wake up. You know what my breakfast is?
What is it?
Creme brulee.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the richest dessert in America, in the world.
Oh, okay.
That's what I wake up and I break my fast. I just go deep into creme brulee.
Wow.
And I look at pictures of children I have sold for money.
Well, that's a high, and our fans are taking you seriously on this.
Yeah, I'm wondering if these ad libs are really going to get taken out of context.
I mean, Shannon does our clips, and I've instructed her. I've instructed her to make you a villain because I need to take down a human trafficker. Do you know what that would do for my career? If you came on here and honestly said that you are a human trafficker, and I took you down and I exposed you, I think would be the headline.
Yeah.
Shannon.
I want everyone to know that I studied 2 years under Second City. I am a master improviser, and I can zip, zap, zop like a son of a gun.
Yeah.
Zip, zop.
And are improvers your preferred people that you take for human trap because they just yes and you right into human slavery?
No market.
Is that true?
No market for them. Yeah. It's not
There's no market for improv
it's not
down there.
It's not a seller's market for them.
Let's get back to
Yes, Michael.
organs.
Which one are we selling?
Are you an organ donor?
I can't remember. I have an expired license. So I have
Okay.
an expired license. So I can't
It's
remember.
illegal, by the way.
Yeah, I can't remember if I have an organ donor on there. If I die and they find an expired license and I'm an organ donor, can they legally use my organs?
I think that they would be hung up on the expired license. It's like this guy should have. I mean, he can't drive. He can't go anywhere.
But does
I
that
mean,
mean
should
my-
he even have been alive?
Does that mean my organs are expired? Is that what they're going to look at?
Oh,
Does that mean
that's a good point.
is my spleen not good enough?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you donate spleens? Shannon, we need a ruling.
That's a good. This clip should be called "Organ Donor with Low Self-Esteem." Is my liver not good enough? Is it not good enough? Because that's a great point, James. Because you have an expired license
Yes.
and you're an organ donor, are your organs expired?
I do have an answer.
Yeah.
Shannon, you have an answer?
I do.
We're getting to the bottom of the stuff here on this podcast.
The answer is no. Your organs are not expired. It says even if your driver's license is suspended, revoked, canceled, or expired, your status as an organ donor is not affected.
Forever. Todo tiempo.
Okay, you know what? My thing is, if someone kills me, I want you to know, I want to figure out what you think of this. Someone kills me, I donate my organs, okay, and I donate my appendix, and we get into a shootout. I die, but I shoot him in his appendix. I donate my organs. He gets my appendix. It's all sewn up. He's going to live, but like 15 minutes after the operation, my appendix bursts inside of him, giving me the ultimate revenge. Your reaction to this podcasting is reactions.
It sounds like a John Woo movie. It sounds.
John Woo, did you learn that in Chinatown?
Oh my, yeah. He bought the first 2 kids. It sounds like Face Off, but instead with an appendix.
Yes.
And then the punchline is the appendix goes off and the bad guy gets it.
Yes.
Pretty spectacular. Can we get this in development? Shannon, can we start a Kickstarter, whatever it is?
Shannon,
Can we go fund me? Can we get this movie made?
Shannon, do you want to be an executive producer on it? I mean, I'm just throwing out titles right now.
I love the idea, but then I also wonder
Oh.
if you would then be considered a murderer.
I would be dead.
But
Wouldn't I be dead?
No,
maybe like
it's the other guy.
posthumously you would be, they would say
Oh.
you murdered him, maybe.
A hero murderer?
Maybe. Or a hero.
That's a twist.
No, but
Hero
he's the
or
bad
murderer.
guy. No, the other guy's the bad guy.
What if I survive? Can we workshop it so that I survive?
You survive.
I survive. They take my appendix. I'm an organ donor. They take my appendix. What? Then maybe they ask me. I come out of a coma. They ask me to take the appendix. They give it to him.
You've just
so that
woken
he
up from
can
in a coma. Can we have your appendix?
And I give it to him, and then it explodes inside of him. God, I don't know. There's so much to work out here.
This is great. Should we just work it out on the
Too
podcast?
bad there's a writer's strike.
What if we're scabs?
What we just did was illegal.
Is this illegal? Are we two scabs?
We're just two scabs.
I'm a union
we
man.
We just did a writer's strike. We just did against what was against the writer's strike.
Shannon, blow up that rat right now. Put it right in this seat so we can be reminded that we're scabs.
This is a union podcast, James.
Did you pay your dues this month?
I pay my dues every month.
Every month.
Yeah.
What do you pay him in? Ramen? You point at me, you go cans of soup and ramen. You do not. I haven't had ramen in so long.
You came in hot. We had to pull you out of you're out moving and shaking.
Playing
in New
guitar,
York.
living life.
Families. Do you see a family and get jealous?
Yeah,
Of a family because you don't have one.
I don't have
No,
much
you
going
don't
on.
have a family. And we live together, both kind of like handsome orphans.
Handsome orphans.
Just roaming the street looking for anybody who wants to get some porridge.
A little
you
bit
know?
of porridge.
All right, so
curds and
do
whey.
you see a
What about some
family?
curds and whey?
James, do you see a family and do you get jealous? You get jealous that you didn't make your very you could have been the head of a household, but you chose this life. This is the life we have chosen, to quote your favorite, Hyman Roth.
The great Hyman Roth.
And The Godfather Part 2.
Who my grandfather did do business with.
Right.
Did I forgot the rest of that. I screwed
It's
the whole
okay.
stuff up.
It's all
What's
right.
the matter with me, Mike?
We're gonna
You know what?
edit-
You should know I got a concussion 3 days ago. I'm still having the repercussions.
From what? Not a car accident because you don't
I
drive.
can't drive illegal. I was helping, this is going to sound great, my manager move because he waited too long to get it. So you have two guys, because you know in New York City, it's easier to get a presidential pardon than to get a moving company in the summer. It's just no chance. And the ceiling comes down going to the doorway, and if the step was ended a step early, it's fine, but it doesn't. I went right into it, bam, into concrete. Was on my back for 30 seconds. I have lost fights and not been on my back for 30 seconds. And then I got up, and the other guy helping move, I go, come on, let's go. And he goes, you should rest. I go, no, man, I'm fine. He goes, you just spoke Spanish.
You got a concussion and spoke Spanish?
It was wild. Yeah.
Do you think we should put that into our public schools?
just smack kids in the head, and then they can use así and más o menos? Yeah.
That's really something.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I
Michael?
thought if you French kissed a woman from who spoke another language, then you could speak.
You get their powers?
Wouldn't that be a loving way, a very romantic way to
yeah.
speak another language? If you French kiss somebody from Spain and then you could speak Spanish?
Oh, yeah, it'd be great. You just make out with a girl, and then como se llama?
Yes.
Yeah.
We would all be making out with each other.
Yeah, it's like an X-Men power.
Yeah. X-Men.
That's an X-Men you don't see. You got Rogue, touches you, steals your energy. Wolverine with claws.
Wow.
Colossus turns into metal. And then you got a CRC who just kisses you and you speaks the language you speak.
That's a really good one.
This smoke break is brought to you by YoDelta.com, the official Getting High sponsor of the Gas Digital Network.
James, so you were moving, you headbutted a why are you turning on me?
Mike, you're one of my favorites.
But
also,
we have to keep it. We have.
What are we
my
doing?
job. You are coming in with great ideas and a ton of energy, and I have to keep us on track.
You're the glue.
If I lose track of what we're talking about, the thing spirals, and our fans are lost as it is.
Mike,
they're rudderless.
Are they because they're
James.
poor whites in Mississippi?
They're low-income whites. We don't call them poor whites. That's degrading them. They're low-income whites around the country, middle of the country, landlocked, and they have no direction. And we're here to not only entertain, but to teach.
Michael, would you say you're a la Reggie Jackson in the late 70s? Are you the straw that stirs the drink?
Yes. And their drink is Pabst
Pabst?
Blue Ribbon, another low-income white
Mellow
beer.
yellow?
Yeah. I mean, they're not drinking anything healthy. They're not fasting like you are or I am.
And eating creme brulee for breakfast in the decadent Upper East Side.
Can I ask you a question that most of our fans want to know right
I would
now?
love to.
How many tattoos do you need before you feel like a whole human being? How many tattoos do you possibly need? Do you
I
feel
feel
the
about
whole inside of
90%.
you?
I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I thought of, I'm at 6 right now, and I'm about 90% feeling whole.
Yeah.
But I think there's at least 2 more I'm going to get.
Okay.
But I'm gonna
Unless
ask,
your dad comes back.
if he comes back, if the dead people that I cried about yesterday on Father's Day come back, and a month ago on Mother's Day come back, then maybe we will. But I don't think that's going to happen. So
Your father passed.
I don't know my father. So this is really wild.
You
Father's Day.
tried to kill him?
No. Well, with kindness. Am I right? Come on. High five. Come on. Yeah. Air horn 79%.
Thank God we have that air horn.
79%. So as we're recording this, yesterday was Father's Day.
Yesterday was Father's Day.
My grandpa raised me, has been dead 11 years. My stepdad, who was spectacular, after my mom passed and they were divorced, I still hung out with him and reached out to him. He died 3 years ago to the day of Father's Day.
Oh, my God.
What a fun day. And there's some other stuff going on that I can't really talk about, but it was a hoot.
Let's break it
was
down.
a hoot.
11 years because your grandfather who raised you,
Yes.
he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
He ghosted. That's what we call it on this podcast. He ghosted you. And what did he die of? We like to break it down. Natural causes?
He went to get some surgery, and then he was a mess for like a year. He died of being an old Italian, Michael.
Okay. So, cholesterol?
Life.
Okay, so he was run down. And you know what? I'm uncertain of your... You were very
Yes.
shady when we were living together about your ethnic background.
I'll still be shady
Which
now.
means everything to me.
Yes,
you
it
know
does.
that.
What do you want to know, Michael?
Well, I want to know that you said you were Italian when you were living with
Yes,
me.
I am
and then
Italian,
you quickly,
Michael.
as soon as we moved out and you were trying to move up in the business, you said you were Jewish and then you became a Scientologist. It's like, I don't know what you're trying to do. It's called pandering, James.
Buddy, listen to me, Michael.
What?
So when I met up with this family, I met up with them at the Italian cupcake shop.
Mm-hmm.
Pictures and jerseys of Napoli
Yeah.
and Diego Maradona. He's not Italian, but it still meant a lot because he played for Napoli. I got emotional because
Right.
I'm Southern Italian. So
You're Southern Italian?
I am Calabrese, but that team will never do a damn thing. So a Southern team won this year, just months after Maradona's home country won a
But
World
what
Cup.
is that, soccer? For our
Yes.
fans who are not, they can't follow this
It's called
conversation.
football with a U. It is a wonderful sport. It's the best sport. It's the greatest sport. It's the fairest sport.
But what were you doing in a cupcake shop if you're, in fact, fasting?
I met up with the family. I didn't eat nothing.
You stood strong?
I kept my honor.
In the face of the cupcakes. When you have cupcakes being paraded around a shop,
Yes.
you are able to use your mental toughness. This is for our fans who
Yeah.
have don't even know what we're saying.
My mental toughness with my scrambled eggs from a concussion days ago.
Yeah. And did you go to there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, let's unpack.
Okay. Father's Day is one thing because I want to get back to your stepdad. They divorced.
Yes.
Your mother divorced. Who filed? Your mother or your stepdad? Was your mother too much to take? And just be honest here, because it's not Mother's Day.
You know the
You're
answer.
Was your mother too much to take? Did you side with your stepdad, not your bloodline?
Buddy,
What do you do in that
I-
situation?
can I bring up a quote from off the air? Mm-hmm. Mike goes, buddy, you tend to like to chase nightmares for girlfriends. Where do you think that comes from, my
Right.
boy?
Your mother
So I think
programmed
I
you.
think that answers the question. Who was right between your mom and stepdad? I think that should answer it. James has dated nightmares.
Yes, James has dated nightmares. That's the name of this clip.
Love you.
I don't want to. Let's keep going.
Yes.
So your stepdad leaves.
Should we go back to the cupcakes?
Your stepdad. We're gonna get to cupcakes in a second because I want to talk about that. But your stepdad leaves.
Yes. While I was out here,
Okay, you're already in New York,
I was in New
and your
York.
stepdad said that's enough.
Yeah.
I've got to go.
There might have been some other things.
Okay, but you kept in touch with him. Is that a stepdad's responsibility when he's married to a woman and then it's not his kids and he's because I feel like you should be the stepdad when you're there, but then when the marriage is over, you no longer have access to me as a father if I am the stepdad.
That happened. And then my mom went flat out bananas, which was insane because that was her nickname that my grandpa gave her.
Which is a great comedy club that I'll be at in December.
Yep, get the plugs in. Her nickname was Bananas.
Okay.
And then actually kind of, all due respect, became Bananas.
Okay.
And she was hard to deal with.
Self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yes, that's what it is. So it's crazy. The other two sisters were named The Witch. And none of them have gone on a broom yet, so give it time.
Wow.
But no air horn. Now I just feel like a hack. Look.
No, I just think
I have
that
to use them sparingly.
yes.
Is that what they said?
Shannon's
in
easing back into. She's easing back into it. I mean, the standard is very high now.
What,
now,
for
are
this?
all of your relatives like from Fables?
Yeah.
The Witch,
Bananas.
the Banana.
Yeah. Well, Italians nicknames. Everyone's got
Yeah.
nicknames. You know that.
Because you don't want to know the real identity of the people in your family.
Spoken from a true Italiano, Napoleon. I love you wearing. I just finished the A3 watching of The Irishman, and you are dressed like every guy
Can I
named
say
Tony
something
in that
to you?
film. Your glasses.
Normally,
are
I
phenomenal.
just wear them for reading and to look a certain way. For you, I knew you were coming in. I know we know each other well. I'm wearing them to intimidate you. Is it
I'm gonna
working?
be honest.
Is it working?
I'm not as loose with you as I thought I would be
Yes.
right now. I don't like this.
No.
I don't get in my head anymore in podcasts, but
Right.
right now I'm a little bit like, oh my God, are the low-income whites judging me?
They could be.
Oh my goodness.
could
What am
be.
I going to do without them? What am I going to do without the good people of Muscle Shores?
Mattern.
I said the town.
I'm
wrong.
gonna-
Who
I'm gonna-
cares? Get a job.
I'm gonna ask this one more time. Should you have the right to your stepdad after he divorces
I reached-
your mother?
I was still close to my blind uncle at the point. We're not friends now either. That's another story.
Yeah.
But he was talking to him, and I invited him to go see me at a show. I was playing the Hard Rock, and with Shuley and guys from the Howard Stern show. I did not invite my mother because she was batshit at the time.
But you invited your blind uncle and your stepdad.
And my
who are now
stepdad's current
friends.
wife, who I gave stepmom currency to. I gave her the title of stepmom, and I text her on Mother's Day, even after all these years, and we text yesterday.
What happened to your blind uncle? Why did you have a falling out?
He's,
with him?
he-
You were replaced with a seeing eye dog.
He says, yes. What in the sand hill is going on,
That
Shannon?
was a good one.
Yes, it was
James.
great, but now I'm back in my head because the last one wasn't good enough, you chicharron.
What was the falling out with your blind uncle? We need content.
Here, I'm going to stick with the Italian. He's a bit of a stunad. I mean, I love
Okay.
him, but it was getting very difficult.
Okay.
And so we just parted ways. And I probably shouldn't say, I am becoming Pat Cooper. God bless him dying.
But
I'm
he
just
has
going to get in trouble all the time and yell. I've been a 90-year-old Italian for 45
Did your
years.
blind uncle have a hard head? Calabrese. Calabrese's hard head.
Scocciamenza.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had a hard head.
Yeah.
You had a little bit of a falling out. Instead of giving him a little bit of a backhand, you said, "This is blood. I'm going to back away from it."
Yeah, he kind of fell away from all the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the blind uncle, he fell away because he couldn't see.
Yeah, I suppose he is.
He's your blind uncle. Maybe he couldn't see his way back into a functional relationship with the rest of your family. Mattern, God, have some compassion. I preach it to the fans.
To have compassion?
Yes.
Well, my hearing's no good. So maybe that's why we didn't get, what are we, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder?
Double
That's for
disability.
6 people. 6 people get that. See no evil, hear no evil. Great movie.
But do you think that a double disability is actually? Do you think that actually?
That's a positive.
Helps a relationship.
Yeah, 2 negatives equal a positive. You're right. It's worse
blind
than when we pause for the air horns and don't
No,
get it. It's
it's
really,
great.
it's tough.
It's
it really
not
hurts.
tough. We have to ignore and let Shannon do her due diligence, and we have to have faith in Shannon. She has not laid down with a man in over 2 years. Okay,
I thought it was
and
4.
that
5 years. 5 years.
5 years.
She's got 5 on it.
What is it going to feel like if you ever let a man touch your nose zone?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's going to
anymore.
be explosive, and you will fall. You better marry him because you're going to fall in love with him.
Could I don't know what's
And
funnier.
you know what? We're going back and forth. Go ahead, James. I'm not going to cut you off.
I don't know what's funnier.
I'm an active listener.
No zone, or in 2023, someone says she is not laid with a man. You sound like
She's not
an
laid
Italian
down with a man.
peasant in the hills in the 1850s. Enza has not laid with a man in 5 years.
She has not laid down with a man.
Is Enza even a name? I know there's Enzo,
Enzo.
but wouldn't there be a female? Can't there be an Enza?
Yes, there is.
The baker.
No.
For your father. Your
Because
father.
of Latin X, all of that's out the window. James, I need you focused because I'm not going to let you. You know what?
Because of Latin X. I can't do this with your
You say a
glasses.
lot of things. You say a lot of.
What do I say?
Your stories are always packed all the way
With
through.
what?
They're packed with information and facts.
With nonsense.
And I think that you. No, it's not nonsense. I think you just say these things on podcasts, and no one ever really digs into them.
Yes.
So I want to stay with this.
Please.
Your blind uncle somehow reconnects
with my stepdad.
with your stepfather.
Southern man.
How did they reconnect?
Just I think my uncle needed something fixed in the house.
Mm-hmm.
My stepdad, they were tight for a long time.
Right.
They come. My uncle was telling me about it. I go, reach out to Keith. And I invited him to the show, and he hung out. We were tight till he died.
How did he reach out through? Does he have a Braille phone? Is that how he called?
Really,
his stepdad?
Michael? There's Braille phones.
There could be.
You just speak to Siri. Dial Mike Vecchione.
Oh, technology.
Technology is king.
Okay, so Okay, my next question.
Because of Latin
Mattern.
X.
My next question, Mattern.
Yes, sir.
Should you be allowed? Did your mom feel a certain way that you were palling around with your stepdad who broke up with her? And do you feel any sense of the fact that you're not being loyal to your mom because you're hanging out with your stepdad and your blind uncle who hasn't reached out to the family in God knows how long?
Michael, she was very busy trying to convince the rest of us that her phones were tapped. So I don't think that she had bigger fish to fillet.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I think the expression's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
But I know that you're dieting. So
To fillet. So she yes.
she was not even in this. She was about to be institutionalized. Is that what you're saying?
It was a discussion at some point.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, so what are you gonna do? You live long enough, you might have to go to the funny farm.
The funny farm.
Is that
yeah.
a slur? Did I just say something wrong? Shannon, are we done? Are we canceled? No. Is it funny farm month?
How would you would have had to taken her to a mental institution.
Yes.
And we are big mental health on this
Yes.
podcast. We are big at pushing mental health on this podcast. But if you had to check your mom in to a mental health facility, would you say to them, do you have any bananas here? Because that was her nickname.
It's her name. Do you think that would trigger her? Would you be pro if this was your mom?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want her with bananas? Do you think bananas is what led her to Go Bananas?
Go Bananas is a club in Cincinnati.
Which I'll be there in February. No, I'm not just making that
Plug
one
in
up.
your dates?
Yeah, I'm just making it up. I'm fun.
No,
I'm
I think
a master improviser, remember?
Yes, you are.
Zip. You're not. You would know to say zap, but you do not. You did not study under the schooling of Del Shannon.
I let it sit in the air because I'm a master podcaster now. I tried comedy for 23 years. Didn't work out. Now I'm a journalist.
You are.
And in journalism, we get to the bottom of stuff.
Yes, you just don't yes and it. You just
No.
You just know it.
I go, no, and then I ask a follow-up question.
I see.
Blind uncle and father come to your show. Your mother doesn't even acknowledge it. And now you still have and then your stepfather passed on Father's Day.
He died before Father's Day. It was during the pandemic, and I was in Vegas. He wanted me to go eat when they opened things up. I go, I'm going to wait. And we were having some issues with some stuff, but he's still a good guy. And then it felt weird, and I reached out to him a few days before Father's Day, and I was like, hey, man, what are you doing Sunday?
Right.
I was going to brave it. And at that point, I'm like, let's just catch COVID now anyway. I'm going to catch it at some point. Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
And his wife picked up the phone. Hey, he's in surgery. We'll give you a call when he's out. And 3 hours later, I get a call from her on his phone. He's gone.
Oh, my God.
Right before Father's Day.
Wow.
Nice country, huh?
That's
nice
tough.
country. That's entertainment.
That's tough.
Hey.
How did you process that emotionally?
I went to the guy I'm staying with, my boy Franny, his uncles, and we just played cards and drank all night.
Okay.
And cried. Ooh.
Yeah.
And the uncle.
You got to cry. You got to get it out.
And the uncle has on his fridge in the garage a magnet for some reason of Von DiCarlo from the Munsters. And the only thing that cheered me up is like every 30 minutes he'd still look at this thing. He's had forever like, boy, she would have been a nice piece, huh? I'm like, yeah. If you were there, you would have been like, Unc, would you have laid down with her? Would you have laid down with Von DeCarlo? No, Von DeCarlo is a comedian.
Yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
Von DeCarlo is a comedian.
Yes, Von from the Munsters. Old lady. Shannon, we really need you now.
The Munsters?
I'll do the air horn. The lead?
So did you go
Oh my God, we can't get an answer. No.
This is a Father's Day.
This is the worst.
We're going to come back to
Okay,
it.
Shelley. No, that's not right.
The original Munsters.
The
Did
only
you...
thing coming, I'm sorry, Mike. The only thing coming up with Von is Shecky Von Rathbone.
We don't know who played the lead, but who was in the Munsters?
The Munsters original cast.
Yeah.
Hold
I have to look. It's a sin now, and now it
Raul
sounds like
Julia.
Yvonne DeCarlo.
Yvonne DeCarlo.
Yvonne DeCarlo.
Lily Munster.
Von DeCarlo is our friend.
Should they reboot the Munsters and have Von DeCarlo in the Munsters?
They did reboot it. There was a movie recently.
Yeah, Rob
You're
Zombie.
saying that there wasn't enough diversity in the Munsters?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, and that's why I think it has a -8 on Rotten Tomatoes. God. Did that ruin everything? I know you're a big Rob Zombie fan.
Do we need a black and Asian and Indian
Latinx
and Latinx monsters?
Yeah.
I think there should be variety, James.
I think so. I think Grandpa should have been.
Did you go to the funeral?
There was no funeral.
It was cremation?
It was just Ugats.
Ugats?
It was Ugats. She didn't do nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were close with her?
A little bit, yeah. And then I was supposed to go eat with her and my aunt and uncle, and I didn't feel good that day. And I think it's probably because I really didn't process the death.
Yeah, that stuff, you got to process it.
And then I haven't seen her since, but we've texted.
Yeah.
She'll be like, he'd be so proud of you. You're doing so good. That's nice. And then she probably puts the phone down and watches Fox News, just like the low-income whites that are listening.
Do you have...
I'm having a good time.
Mattern, when you were single, did you have sexy texts and then one from like an older relative? You know what I mean? Like it's like you're sexy texting and then the other one is like, you know, your mom.
I'm not good with sex. I barely sexy text my whole life.
You're right.
I'm just not good.
Because you don't want evidence of anything.
Yeah.
How was it growing up in stay focused there.
Yes, Michael. Can I tell you, I almost got
Let's
Dunkin'
stay
Donuts.
focused.
And I feel like Dunkin' Donuts gets judged in this studio. I'm like, I couldn't find like a good, like a local coffee shop, hipster place. So I decided to do a Monster Energy drink. And then look at this. The host is going old school, middle of America, fly-by state Dunkin' Donuts.
Black coffee.
Yeah.
Nothing in it.
Do you ever...
You can't mess up this order.
I concur.
And the guy loves me when I come in. He goes, black coffee, light ice? I go, you got it.
Yo, light ice.
Light ice. Because the trick, what they try to do for profit margins is they fill it up with ice, and then you're drinking half coffee, half water.
I do that anyway. I like an Americano. Ice it up, B. Ice it up. Here's my question.
Why?
Are you ever...
Why? Are you trying to deny yourself
I like
caffeine?
I want to... No. That's how I hydrate. I have an Americano and it's water.
You're fasting, and then you're drinking a Monster Energy
I broke the
drink.
fast. I ate. I started at 8, and now it's 35 calories. I get one usually before the gym, but I won't be able to make the gym today because I wanted to be here for my dear friend, my confidant.
I got you to skip the gym?
Yes, my rubber ducky buddy in the bathtub.
Our fans need to know the truth, James. If you're afraid, you weren't afraid to get naked in our apartment, but you're afraid to be exposed to the low-income whites who watch the show.
You're not, you weren't afraid to get naked in your closed doors of your apartment you paid rent for. Yeah. If you had a rubber ducky here right now, I would just be sitting in a towel looking at you, and I'd pour some of this on me so I look wet for old time's sake. But I don't want to trigger you back to the quote-unquote good old days.
The only reason that it ended badly was not because of you or me. It was because of insects. Mm-hmm. And this is a hard topic to talk about with Shannon right here because Shannon sent me some pictures one time. This was years ago. And you've sent me pictures. Everybody sends me pictures of bites. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, like, when I see the skin, I was like, wow, James is really warming up to me. Because I think it's going to be sexual. And it ends up being bites.
Yes.
And it wasn't that you had bed bugs, but you wanted to see if the bites were bed bug bites.
Yes. And now, luckily, one of my boys back home is a master exterminator. So this poor son of a gun
Wow.
If I find anything, any critter in my place.
How do you kill them? How do you kill bed bugs? The exterminators who did our apartment didn't know how to do it.
They
because
did not
we had
know.
to move.
Yes.
The bed bugs, the solution was you move. The bed bugs live there now.
Yes. Yeah. Patience. Just like Axl Rose taught us.
But is there some kind of a freezing technique that he uses?
Should we FaceTime him? I'm sure he's just listening to an audiobook right now.
James, you know everybody, and you have a wealth of knowledge on everything.
Give me a topic.
You're
Give me a
very
topic.
smart.
Give me a topic.
We're doing a topic right now.
Okay.
What, is this meta? Are you not in the podcast? I'm
Speaking
talking
as an expert
about
on meta. Meta means that you're yes. I'm here. I'm present with you right now.
As an exterminator, what do you think is the best method to get away? We failed.
Yeah.
We had to move out. They broke up the band. The bed bugs won. How can we kill them and send a message to the rest of them?
A message.
A message.
You need to you need to leave a roach's head in like where they're nesting.
Yeah.
In their nest as a message.
Right.
A la leaving a horse's head in Waltz's bed.
Right.
In The Godfather Uno.
Do you think that they would go to another apartment, maybe another apartment with better track lighting and more space if we did that?
Possibly.
It's a real estate issue.
Track lighting and...
You're fasting. You went to a cupcake shop. You did not eat.
I didn't eat. I had a cup. I had an Americano full of water.
What about this happy family? What were they doing in a cupcake shop?
Oh, they were having a good time.
They were eating?
Yes.
They were eating cupcakes?
They were living their life. I mean, they're going to get into England at 6 in the morning.
Are they from England?
No, they live in Colorado, but
All
they're
right.
going to England. They're good peoples.
Yeah.
But so they're eating everything with the Prince Pizza. They're living their life.
Why are they going to England? Because of Meghan and Harry's podcast got canceled and they wanted to go get to the bottom of it?
They want to see what's going on over there. Yeah.
What is going on? Are you pro Meghan and more? Are you more Meghan or more Harry?
I'm going to go with Meghan. Yeah.
I would have thought you were Harry because I've showered with you.
I am incredibly... Jesus. My manager told me I should trim down my hair.
Stop throwing your reps in my face.
Yeah.
I have people too.
Yes, I know. Well,
You want my people to get with your people and maybe we'll do a collaboration? You want to do a collab?
Your people, I think, are doing you great. I want everyone to know that my people spend time going, man, you got ear hairs. You should probably get rid of them. He told me I should trim down my body hair. But I'm like, I'm already doing okay. I have like a girl. She's all right with it. Why would I trim down?
But
That
what
looks
about your
fishy.
Muppets audition? That's coming up.
That's Union. The Muppets, they're striking too.
Oh my God, the Muppets are striking. The
yeah.
writers.
The Muppets are striking. Speaking of that, they told me, so they're going to go to Paris, this family, and they're excited to go to Disney Paris Disney, whatever it's called.
Right.
Do you know they're striking?
Disney Paris is striking?
Striking. Do you know they only strike 1 day a week? Is that
That's really hilarious.
It's the dumbest strike.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you telling me that the Paris workers are being laissez-faire even with their strike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can put it on the board.
Don't you feel
Yes!
like a champion when you do win one?
I am a champ. I am a winner. What do winners do, Shannon? We win, for crying out loud.
See, they're striking in Paris.
One
do you
day a
think
week.
that our writers need to go to Bollywood? Is that an option? Maybe they'll pay better in Bollywood. Bollywood is the up and coming. I think Hollywood is kind of finished now.
I think it'd be
We're
great.
going Bali.
Bollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I know people who are going to take jobs in Europe.
And then they'd be forced to hire whites because of diversity.
In India?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
The whites are different.
The whites are different. So would we work more in India?
I think we would work more in India.
But in Bollywood, don't we have to speak a language we don't speak?
No, it's English.
Is
they were
it?
colonized.
I don't believe this. I don't believe in colonizing.
Indian people think Indian people speak English because they were colonized by England. Is that my right, Shannon?
But they also speak other languages.
Right.
Do they
Who
all?
doesn't? But everybody kind of
Who
speaks
doesn't?
English.
Who doesn't? I'll tell you. Should I look in the camera? Look at low-income whites. I know you barely speak English, but
They
am
can-
I crossing the line, Michael?
Yes, they can't read. They can speak English,
I'm
though.
a line crosser, Mike. I need to give the hard truth to people. To quote the great Chris Laker, do you want the truth or a bedtime story? I am all out of bedtime stories.
Hey, don't name drop on this podcast, number one. Number two, these fans will,
Number one.
will jump into their trucks and come and find us if they had any motivation. How long have you been fasting?
I don't do it right. I don't do 8 hours on, 12 off. But when I'm done eating, I try to do 12. Yeah.
You freestyle it?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So I weighed myself light. I was struggling to eat this weekend, and I needed a snack. And I decided before I went to get the snack to weigh myself, and I weighed very light for what I should be right now. And I go, you know what? Let's just go bananas. Once again, February 8th. I went and I said, whatever. I had a whole pint. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Ben & Jerry's cannoli.
Okay.
3 a.m.
After you were done
2:40.
fasting.
No, this was last night, and so now I broke my fast at 3 o'clock.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's great. It's like because you stumble and you fall and you like, I'm gonna eat bad right now, and you make that decision. We were at a wedding.
I needed it.
We were at a wedding together.
Oh, embarrassing.
We were at a wedding together recently.
Yeah.
And can I say their name? I'll say their name.
Yeah.
Anthony and Julia.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Married in Buffalo, New York.
America's
which is,
playground.
It's very brave.
Yeah.
And
that was their basketball team's name. You know that?
the Braves?
The Buffalo Braves. Bob McAdoo. They're now the LA Clippers. You're welcome.
No.
Expert.
Is that that's part of basketball history?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a slam dunk.
Shannon.
Anyway,
he's
no. She can't. You do not talk to Shannon and do not make eye contact with her. She's not laid down with a man in 5 years, for God's sakes. Okay, now listen. She's
laid with the man.
She's laid with the man, and she's on the horns because she is not horny. Is that ironic?
It's a little bit.
Because I think once you go 5 years, and I'm talking to you behind Shannon's back in front of her face, you stop feeling those feelings and you just become, I don't want to say stoic, but you shut the faucet off for so long that you don't know if the pipes are even working again. And if they do, they could be squeaking.
You lose faith, right?
You lose faith, but you're mentally, you ever do something for so long that you're just like, you just don't have that energy anymore? I mean, not you. You're not with intercourse because you're a dynamo.
I am. I was voted America's greatest lover by America's Greatest Lover magazine. So it's legit.
Gigolo Weekly?
Gigolo Weekly.
Okay, so
I don't take money for it, Mike.
You don't take.
So
you've never taken money for sex?
No. Well, look,
Mattern?
Look, does Aruba count?
I am looking.
It's legal in Aruba.
We've been to Aruba together.
It's a great time.
We vacationed together.
I'm going back in a few weeks.
I want to talk about this wedding for a minute.
Yeah, let's talk about the wedding and the breaking
we were
of the
there.
fast.
The breaking of the fast.
Oh,
I
buddy.
ate like a pig because they had a. They didn't just have a cookie table, Shannon. They had a room full of desserts.
It's
a
unbelievable.
separate room. And I went into that separate room and I made a mockery of myself. I humiliated myself in that room. And to the point where I didn't come out for a long time. I just stayed in the room.
I hung in there for 30
I
minutes.
stuffed my face until they brought the pizza and the wings out, the late night foods.
That's right.
And then I made a beeline. Am I boring you? I made a beeline from the dessert room to the after-hour snack table. And then the next day, Mattern, this is where I bring it home. I'm a great storyteller. I fasted because I ate like such a pig that on a wedding. So I feel what you're doing. If I eat like a pig, I will not eat the entire next day. And you guys should try that at home. Not eating.
I did 3 cannolis,
Yeah.
3 slices of cake, 6 anisette cookies, 2 Baileys and coffee, all in that little room within a half hour.
Did you keep track of that on an app?
This
or
app.
did you have a
This app. It's called The Brain
Yeah.
because I'm a man.
Okay. You count the cookies that you had. It was very specific.
Yeah, I mean,
I just thought that maybe you had a watch that tracks it. Everybody does that now.
if you do the time, you have to do the crime.
Do the crime, do the time.
James, can you
Sorry.
scoot to the right? I'm losing you in the frame here.
Based on the things I'm saying, I think more should get lost.
I think that you said if you want to do the time, you do the crime.
Yeah.
And it was the other way around. Are you dyslexic?
I
Talk
don't
to our
know.
fans.
Well, you know what?
Have you been tested?
No, but guess what? I had a girlfriend, dyslexic. I used to kiss her.
Right.
Do you think it's like your language theory?
You would get it from her.
I got the dyslexia from her.
Yes. I think that's a great point. You might have got dyslexic from saliva.
Oh, now I think Mike Vecchione's name is Vecchione Mike.
Do our fans have it from listening to this story, do you think? Oh, my God. Okay. When they were getting married, it was the shortest ceremony I've ever seen in my life.
I've never seen anything like it.
What did you think of the ceremony? And I want you to comment on it. Break your silence.
So the ceremony, basically, you sit down at the bride comes, and then the official, the minister, whatever, says, hello, welcome to the wedding of Anthony and Julia. And then I swear to God, I blinked. I now present to you Mr. and Mrs. Anthony DeVito, and it was done in 2 minutes. I mean, I've seen coin tosses at football games that have gone longer than that. And then we got up.
Do you like that or not?
Yeah, it's great, but it's like, why did we even go to the church?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go, and when they got announced after the cocktail hour,
Right.
they come in, they cut the cake right away before anyone eats.
Right.
Then they gave speeches, dances with the relatives.
Right.
Then we ate. And then by the end of the wedding, like at the last dance, Shannon couple, they were separated and divorced. That's how they did everything.
Wow.
It just all happened right in front of your eyes. They had 2 grown-up kids. They moved out. One of them got an addiction.
Better? Would that be better if they get an annulment at the end of it and they go, you all just got punked?
You got punked because they did everything that you do towards the end.
Right.
At the beginning.
Flip-flop.
It's crazy.
Dyslexic?
Did you think they made out with that girl too?
Reverse marriage?
Oh, reverse marriage. Yeah. That happened.
Do you think that that the cookie table was opened up too late? Do you think the food was served too late in the ceremony?
It was great.
What
Great
about
wedding.
the dancing? Did you dance?
No,
Do you dance?
I didn't dance much.
But did you dance some?
A little bit, but I wasn't. Look, I went into the other room a couple times because the now Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights, my hometown, were playing game 1, and I had to watch it of the Stanley Cup. So I watched a bit of that. I danced a little. I'm not dancing much. Also, girlfriend is a Latina, so the jealousy. You can't have pictures of me dancing with another female.
Wow.
Get stabbed right in the throat.
You cannot dance with another female.
I want to see Shannon's reaction when I
if
said
the
that.
pictures happened,
everything else I've talked
Mattern,
about.
I have a narrative. If the pictures surface, everything's overdramatic. If your pictures surface of you dancing with another woman at a wedding, if they surface and your Latina girlfriend finds them, what happens to you?
Buddy,
is it a confrontation?
You'll never see me again.
No, you just get disappeared.
To quote Bob Dylan,
yeah,
it's all over, baby blue.
Wow. She takes it that seriously, the Latinas.
It's in the blood.
Dancing.
It's in the blood, Bubba.
It's in their bloodstream. Why would she let a feral animal like you go to a wedding by yourself if that was a concern? Can I ask you that? Can I put that on the table?
Maybe she didn't have a choice.
Because you're on your own.
Because I'm a man.
You're your own man.
With 7 A's. I spell it with 7 A's because
Right.
that's how much of a man I am, Michael Vecchione. Vecchione Mike. I'm dyslexic now.
Did you, you said you danced a little bit, and then did you ask Anthony and Julia, I'm sorry I have to step out of your wedding, my sports team is playing. Did you say that to them, or did you just leave?
I think I admitted it a little bit after.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
The sanctity of your marriage and your future is not as important to me.
Vegas won a championship.
Is love bigger than Vegas winning a championship?
Depends on the love.
Wow. Your love for your team exceeded their love for each other. And you're not just a casual friend of Anthony. You lived together with Anthony and Greg for
7.5 years.
7.5 years. Common law married.
Yes. Do you know what I lived with more?
What?
The great city of Las Vegas for 27.5 years.
You're comparing your love.
27.5 years of living in Las Vegas.
You're comparing your love for a city versus your love for a person.
My hometown, my hometown. That's right, buddy. Wow. By New Jersey's own Bruce Springsteen, but we'll pretend he sang it about Henderson, Nevada, and the 702.
Overall, I had a great time at the wedding.
It was a great wedding.
It was a great wedding, and the speeches were so authentic.
Yes.
And they were they rang true for me.
Yes.
You know, because we're all public speakers. We do it for a living.
Okay.
So we're all like, silently kind of judging each speech. And I thought all of the speeches were through the roof. Your thoughts on the speech?
They were quite good.
Yeah.
Especially our dear friend Greg Stone.
Greg Stone. Off the rails.
Off the rails.
Off the rails. And that's how we like them.
That's
we like them off the rails.
He's the best. Said to Anthony DeVito, Anthony, I love you. You are my brother. And then looks 2 tables over. His actual brother is sitting there, who I was spending time with the whole weekend. And he goes, well, my actual brother's here. I love you too. I love you too. Right. But Anthony, hey, it was pure madness. Do you know?
When you call somebody your brother,
yes,
and then your actual brother is there, do you think that hurts his feelings?
Yes, but his brother, if you, I'm sure you know because you read the news.
Yes,
that was going around like wildfire that weekend. Formed a super clique, a super group. His brother, the Wolf,
the Wolf,
with the former Mad Dog, me, and Andy Big Cat Fiore. We became a sensation of Buffalo, New York in this wedding. The Zoo Crew. America's #1 super
Say
group.
it slower for our fans who don't understand what we're talking about. At this wedding, there was, and let's put it in Facebook terms, there was a collaboration. A collaboration, and who was in the collaboration?
The Wolf, the Big Cat, and the Mad Dog.
Okay.
The Zoo Crew.
And did you guys go out into Buffalo that night and fight crime?
We did what we had to. And we didn't draw first blood, Michael.
That's an amazing thing to happen
We're
at the
vigilantes
wedding.
now.
They came together.
Of love.
They came together as a... They came together as a group, and you guys came together as a group.
Yes.
So you, in fact, had your own marriage at someone else's wedding. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm telling you, you're right.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you're correct. I'm affirming what you just said, Michael. Vecchione Michael.
Do you do affirmations?
I look at myself and I say I am the greatest me there's ever been.
And you are.
Every day in the mirror.
Yes.
Do you do affirmations, Michael?
I do affirmations. Every single day. I am handsome. I am handsome. I am handsome. I am kind. I am kind. I am kind. I am a living God. Saw that one and I was like, wow. But that's a real affirmation. I am a living God. I'm a God. I am a God. I am a God. I'm the ultimate creator.
I like to use the one, once again, I reference a hero of mine who just left us, Pat Cooper. I'm the genius of myself. Yes.
I'm the genius of myself.
I'm a genius of myself.
That's a good one.
I feel like if anyone could steal it in comedy right now, it would be me. If I just started doing that, I feel like his ghost would hug me.
Yeah. He was great.
One of the greats.
One of the greats.
Just a miserable old Italian.
Yeah.
His whole career.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
But charisma. He has such charisma.
You're out of order. This time of a bet is out of order. So good.
James.
Michael.
It's 56 minutes in. We've gone long because of our rapport.
I have to be on stage in 2 hours.
Do you really?
Yes.
What's on the tap for tonight?
I am hosting at a place you probably have heard of. It's called the Comedy Cellar.
Yes.
Sorry. The Cellar Comedy.
Okay.
Dyslexia. We're with you.
Well, dyslexic is it would be upstairs.
The Comedy. Okay, Bubba.
It's the opposite.
Okay. She didn't horn you on that one.
She hasn't been horning me at all, but does it affect me? It's my new... I'm off horns, the way that Shannon is off men. I am off.
You got like 10
I'm off
horns.
of it, and it doesn't matter now. What matters is, am I the best version of myself in this podcast?
You are the best
I'm
version.
bringing the best version of myself to this podcast.
You quite are, yeah.
Do you ever take your glasses off?
Yeah. What are we doing now?
Do it for emphasis.
I can't see.
No, don't do it now, but do it for emphasis on a point that you want to make.
Okay. But we're wrapping up.
No, we're not.
I thought you were wrapping it up.
Minutes in.
What do we do? What is this, Scarface? What is it? Is this a modern Scorsese movie? We just keep coming till you run out of film?
James, I'm going to get to the bottom of it because you say a lot of stuff.
What do I
need
say?
To break it down.
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah, because it's like you compact a lot of information in your sentence structure, and I have to get to the bottom of what you're actually saying.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm also having the compact urine in my prostate right now.
You have to. We're allowed bathroom breaks here if you want one.
Is that the union rules?
There is a writer's strike, but the bathrooms are open.
Yeah. If this was in Paris, the bathroom would be closed 1 day a week. I thought that deserved more.
We have to take the wins and the losses in stride. You're a perfectionist. I know that from living with you, James. You're a perfectionist.
Let's bring this back to why I wanted to bring up when you're making fun of football with a U to the low income whites. You're saying we don't like. This is why soccer.
There's hooligans everywhere. Yeah.
This is why soccer is great.
Why?
We take our wins and losses. I was texting someone about something today, and he goes, "Sometimes you can't win, buddy." And I go, "Yep. Sometimes you just have to settle for the draw. That's why everyone but us is smarter than us and are happier than us, because they all love soccer and they deal with draws. We're America. Someone's got to win. Nope. Sometimes you don't win. Sometimes it's 0-0. You go home, you kiss your sister. And then you eat 5 anisette cookies. Like a man with 9 A's. I added 2 more A's. I became manlier since the last time I said it. Like a man, Shannon, that you do not lie with. 5 and counting.
But can I ask you a question about
Please,
the
my
way
friend.
you did the impression of America? It's like, oh, we don't like it. It's like, look at our fans and just say that's what you did. You just did an impression. You mocked the United States of America.
Which I love. You're not supposed to love it.
Do you love it?
You're not supposed
do you
to love
it.
it.
It didn't seem like you loved it. It seems like you were making fun of it.
I say nice country every other thing. You'd be like, how you doing? Nice country. I say I love the gosh darn country.
Did you say that on January 6th?
I said it on
doing
this.
something. Were you busy with other stuff? No, I have to call you on the carpet at it, Mattern. I have to find out where you were then.
January 6th?
Yeah.
I was in Europe trying out for Bayern Munich. The man is good.
I think that we need to go to plugs because we are 2 phenomenal talents, and we need to plug our dates.
Will you ask me if I do consider myself a phenomenal talent? Will you say it?
Do
Ask
you,
me again.
Do you consider yourself a phenomenal talent?
Well, Michael, I've been thinking about it quite a bit, and I think I am the most phenomenal talent in the world.
In the world. I love that. That's
was that?
fantastic. That's fantastic, and that's an affirmation.
Shannon, if a dude, you saw a dude at a bar or a nice restaurant tonight, he
Never
did a move
happens.
like that, would the streak break?
I would think he is a crazy person.
I mean, you're not wrong right now with me, if that's what you're implying.
But then he would approach Shannon and go, look, I'm crazy. You're crazy. You know what else is crazy? Love. It's crazy. And then he leans in for a tongue kiss and then learns Spanish.
Wait, do I learn Spanish or he learns it?
He
learns Italian curse words.
He gives you the Spanish gene, and then all of a sudden he can't go to a wedding by himself and dance with anyone.
That's
for
right.
fear that pictures might surface.
And you speak Spanish in backward tongue. I'm keeping the dyslexia callback all night.
Let's go to plugs. I am at Comic Mike V on all social media platforms. Comic Mike V, you guys are the greatest for joining us on our YouTube premiere. Our numbers are rising. It only took 7 years. And at Comic Mike V, join us. There's my dates. I'll be at Governor's in Long Island. If you're on the island, you got to come out. If you're in the city, take a drive. And June 30th and July 1st, I'll be with the Johnny McDonald, Katie Hannigan.
Good people.
Good people
Good
at
people.
Governor's on June 30th, July 1st. Stamford, Connecticut, New York Comedy Club, Stamford, July 6th. That is a Thursday. I will be in Stamford. Get ready to rock. Stamford, Connecticut, New York Comedy Club. And finally, Raleigh, North Carolina, July 7th and 8th at Good Nights Comedy Club. And make sure that you look MikeVecchione.com for dates. Those are just the next 3 that I have. Please come out to a show and let me know. The shows have been unbelievable that I've been out at since the special dropped, which is also my next plug. The Attractives were at 100,000 on 800-Pound Gorillas page. We're at almost 1.4 million on Nate Bargatze's
Unbelievable.
page.
I'm so happy for you.
Please watch it and tell as many friends as you have. That's it for me. Dates. Follow me on social media. Look forward to seeing you guys on the road. And thank you for supporting this podcast, which we keep coming and we keep having the top-notch guests from the city. James, what do you have? What's coming up, man?
See some of your dates. I will be at Skankfest with you in my hometown of Las Vegas, home of the Stanley Cup champion, Vegas Golden Knights.
Okay.
The Stanley Cup is just where Lord Stanley always wanted it, the middle of the desert. I'll be there. The James Mattern on Instagram, The James Mattern on Instagram and YouTube, and you can watch The Check Spot, which is a special I put out that no one watched that really means a lot. It's also kind of a documentary about me doing the worst part of the comedy show when everyone pays their bills and doesn't pay attention. So check that out. And I'll be at Radio. I see you. I'm at Radio City about 2 weeks before you, opening for Krista Stefano.
Oh
I'm very
my God,
excited
that's
about
beautiful.
that. I'll spit on the stage to let you know how much, and I'm gonna tell them I'm gonna tip all the union guys to not clean it.
Oh, my
so
God.
you can see the spit of what a real man with 13 A's does on that stage. 13 A's, Shannon.
Shannon, what do you got?
You can follow me on Instagram at ShannonLee6982. Listen to my podcast, The Thing Is. Ding, we talk about bad dates, fighting, and ghosts. Wherever you listen to Mike Vecchione Investigates, you can also watch it live for free every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern at gasdigital.com/live. That's absolutely for free. The best way to support the show is to go to gasdigital.com, use promo code MVI. You would get a 1-week free trial, which gives you access to every single episode of this show we've ever done, as well as every episode of every show on the Gas Digital Network. If you listen on iTunes, YouTube, wherever you listen, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a comment. Every little bit of interaction helps the show to grow. Go to merchengine.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. And if you have questions, comments, or your own video investigation to submit, send it into MikeVecchioneInvestigates@gmail.com.
I want to do one story, Shannon. We only have time for one because we're an hour and 5 in. We get to talking and we just lose track of time. But are you ready to investigate?
Okay.
Thank you for your consent, which is big now. Shannon, you would know that if you were ever decided to lay down with a man again.
I'll keep it in mind.
Male eating disorders are on the rise, James. And thanks in part to porn. Shannon, what's the story?
So the story is that according to this body image study, that porn use is problematic and it is linked to eating disorders. Apparently, problematic porn use refers to, description of what problematic is, but approximately 6% of porn viewers report problematic use according to this paper, which also notes findings of heterosexual, homosexual, and bisexual men alike, and that it's part of a compulsive sexual behavior. And people that have this compulsive behavior also isolate themselves and have a negative body image. So the people that watch the most porn feel the worst about themselves, and that leads to eating disorders.
Oh, my God.
My goodness.
I mean, I thought it was because of the pizza delivery in porn, and that would lead to eating disorders. Someone brings you a pizza, and then the girl doesn't have the money to pay for it, and then she has to sleep with the pizza delivery guy.
No one ever ends up eating the pizza either.
The pizza
They're too busy doing other things.
Yeah, the pizza goes bad.
It gets goes
So what was
bad.
the whole point of getting a pizza?
Yeah.
It's got all the food groups on it, too. Maybe the perfect food.
Perfect. Pizza is the perfect food.
What's your, do you watch any of the porn?
I like the worst white trash. I want chipped teeth. I want bad tattoos. I want...
Because that makes you feel better
Yes.
about yourself?
Yes.
Is it self-esteem?
Ever since I started doing that and watching that porn
Right.
with you watch porn to see super sexy people. That's what it traditionally was.
Yeah.
I like to watch it, for the most part, not super sexy
Flawed.
people. Since then, the quality that I've laid down with,
Yeah.
through the roof.
Yes. Because you're gonna watch people who are flawed, and then you're going to get higher echelon women. Is that how it works?
Yeah. That's exactly how it is. It's the opposite of kissing someone who speaks Spanish.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you eat after you watch porn? Because there's an eating
Well,
disorder.
if you eat with it, that's some real issues, isn't it? Could you imagine if I would have ate that Ben and Jerry's cannoli while I was watching pornography?
Well, it
last
depends
night?
what's your genre. Like, you can't eat Italian food watching German porn.
You can't?
I don't think they're good together. It's like, what wine goes with this fish?
You don't think they're good together? They had a good run together up till the end of the 30s.
World War II, James? Is that a World War II reference?
They worked together in the spaghetti westerns. People forget the Germans had a bit to do in the spaghetti westerns as well. Boy, you just want to sweep that under the
I just do
under
want
the
to sweep
carpet.
it under the rug.
Hunter Thompson, Mr.
I don't
Journalist.
like to be attacked on my own podcast.
Listen, Mickey Spillane.
But let's think of some foods now for a clip. Let's think of some foods that would go with porn. I think like meatloaf would go with stepmom porn because your stepmom would make meatloaf and then have to heat it up for you.
Yeah. And let's see. For boy, we can get threesomes. What should we have? I think you should just have Capri Suns.
Okay.
And an apple, because you're going to need your energy.
What about sweet potatoes and amputee porn? Would that be good? Because a potato is something without any limbs on it. Blind porn and a potato, because the potato has eyes.
Wait, potatoes have eyes?
Don't they? Isn't that a thing, Shannon?
Yeah, like the little spots on it. They call them eyes, yeah.
Who calls them eyes?
And that's like the thing, like when you're a kid and you put the little toothpicks in it and you grow the new ones, and it's like the new sprouts come through the eyes of the potato.
I'm not a scientist, Shannon, but I appreciate you helping me, confirming that I wasn't crazy, because James was like, eyes and porn, what is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So, but there are eating disorders, and because people are watching porn, they feel bad about themselves. I thought it was a thing, Shannon, where it was like, do you find this where it's like compulsive, you have a compulsive behavior if you're addicted to porn, so it's going to go over to other things in your life, like overeating.
Yeah.
Like you're compulsively overeating, you're compulsively watching porn. We're describing most of the incels who watch the show, by the way.
It's actually the opposite, at least what they're referring to in this article. So they're talking about how watching all this porn and they're feeling pressure to be more muscular or be in better shape.
Maybe that's a incentive to go to the
That's
gym.
what it is, yeah.
To go to a sexy gym.
Maybe. That's not what's in this article, but maybe we can add it in the comments.
Add it in the
Well, I mean, this is fact-based, Shannon.
Yes.
So we have to be sure of it. Do you plank?
It's been a while.
How's your core?
Decent, but it could be better. I need to plank.
Yeah. But because you have a girlfriend now, are you working your core maybe in different ways? And
Maybe
I
in
don't wanna
different
be
ways. Maybe in different ways, yes.
with her consent, but not dancing.
I can't
With
dance
someone
no one
else.
No. I'm the opposite Whitney Houston. I can't want to dance with somebody. I'm also alive. Oh.
Oh, my God. That was a dark joke.
Yeah, well, I'm a dark person.
That was really dark.
I was going to ask you earlier, when you order your coffee
Mm-hmm.
and they go, how do you like it? And you say black.
Mm-hmm.
I really, at the Napoli bake shop today, poor kid didn't see it coming.
Yeah. What
Do you want
say?
anything in it? I go black to match my soul and my heart. Okay, senor.
But what if you said that? Wouldn't it be perfect if you said that to I like it black like my soul, and the kid getting your coffee was a goth kid?
Oh,
and
yeah.
he would be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys could have collaborated?
We
on
could have collaborated.
Instagram?
Well, I don't know. Do you think he had a nickname that was animal related and he could join the zoo crew? Zoo crew. That was a chant people were saying at us. Zoo.
At the wedding?
Zoo.
At the wedding?
After parties. Everything.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, because you're in your own bubble because you can't hear. You listen to Zoo Crew, but you can't hear Zoo Crew.
Well, I was too busy dancing
With somebody?
with somebody.
Want to feel? Were you feeling the heat with somebody?
Yes, I was.
With
I was
somebody?
dancing.
With somebody
Yeah.
who loves you?
me.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Let's go one more, Shannon. My boyfriend threw me a surprise wedding. I was so shocked as he hadn't even proposed. Is that the way to go now? Just do a surprise wedding and not even propose?
I'm going to do
Proposals hack.
that. Proposals are
And you
hack.
just say, yeah, meet me at this location for something. I have to move some weights. And your girl comes, and then you just get married in a warehouse. CrossFit wedding.
A CrossFit
Would you
wedding
do
would be
it?
spectacular. Yeah, why not?
It's like chores and married at the same time.
Well, I feel like you judged my core, so yes, I do it.
I didn't judge your core. I know it's working.
I'm going to go watch porn now because I'm so self-conscious.
Pornhub? YouPorn?
Fap House.
Fap House
I
is
pay.
a site?
I pay for porn
Do you really?
because I don't steal. Just like, I'm not a Napster guy. I paid Metallica.
Right.
Lars Ulrich had no problems with me.
Shannon, would you be down for a surprise wedding?
I'm really divided on this story.
Yeah.
'Cause I
We
feel
can't
like
have a Shannon divided.
No.
We need a united Shannon.
Yes.
It depends on like the personality of the chick behind this.
Yeah.
Because and also like what the wedding looked like. Like if he put a lot of effort into this, which apparently it did. It said that he told her we're going to go to a nice fancy dinner. So like dress up, look nice, which is good because the woman has to be prepared and look pretty.
But doesn't she want to be in her wedding dress?
That's a key part. So maybe what he should have done was like work with her best friends who are going to know what wedding dress she wants because girls always know that.
Right.
So that could have been something, but they weren't even engaged, nothing. So this came completely out of the blue to her. And she ended up saying no.
Oh.
They did not
Tough
get
life.
married because she was mad that he just surprised her with it.
Oh my! She was mad at that.
Yep, they're still together, but
But it's
didn't
like
wanna
when
get
you take
married.
initiative, women get mad, and then when you plan it out, the women get mad.
Just a wedding. But I feel like most women want to take part in the planning. I don't know. If you're going to put all this into like a big surprise, then maybe put that effort into like a really fun proposal.
So you would need. It sounds like you're coaching him.
I'm trying.
Aren't proposals like I love women who are like anti-establishment. They're anti-everything. But the one thing they do believe in is the traditions of wedding. Have you ever... do you see the hypocrisy of that? It's like, oh, I'm against everything institutionalized and traditional. And then it's like, oh, but I need to have a traditional wedding. It's like, what's the deal?
Are you yelling that at me?
No, I'm not yelling at you. It's not personal, Shannon.
Because I don't
right
feel
now,
that way.
it's just business.
No, I do agree with you because there are some women that do feel that way where they're very like equal and whatever, but then also you should buy me dinner, you should buy me drinks, and you should propose, which is hypocritical.
Well, I agree with the second. I agree that dinner, drinks, and all that. I agree with the second part.
I agree with all of it. I say the guy should pick up the heavy things,
Yes,
kill the
here it
bugs,
is.
buy dinner, buy drinks, and propose.
Fight a cop. Sorry. I had to add the last one.
If the cop's being bad.
Mattern, would you just stage a wedding without a
I'm gonna
proposal?
do it tomorrow. Yeah.
Without a proposal?
Why not? Well, wild card. I'm a man with 15 A's.
Okay. I think we've exhausted everything that we could. James, thank you for... are you getting a tweet?
I gotta go, Mike.
You got to call your reps and tell them to get you on a better podcast.
To get me more concussions.
Thank you for joining
Love
us.
you.
I love you.
Is that weird? Should I not say
No.
it? Could two grown men who shared a rubber ducky and dirty water not tell each other they love each other?
Grown man.
A gosh darn podcast. I didn't
Live
curse.
Above 207th Street.
I'm a good man. Across 200, whatever.
And
I can't sing this song.
We live. You got to go to the bathroom. I want to see
I
how
gotta
disciplined
go.
you
I
are.
got a show in 2 hours.
All
I haven't
right.
showered.
I love you, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Love you.
For Shannon, for James Mattern, I'm Mike Vecchione. We'll see you guys next week. Guys, thank you for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates. And if you go to gasdigitalnetwork.com and use promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. That's gasdigitalnetwork.com, promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. Thank you again for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates on the Gas Digital Network.